If you have Joe Biden as your general election candidate, for example, don't you want to kind of keep a shield around him for a little bit longer, as long as you can? Meaning, the minute there's one candidate left here and there's just that one candidate against Donald Trump, the heat on that candidate increases dramatically. There's a little bit of a heat shield right now.
Well, but I'd say a couple things about that, Lawrence. I understand that. But first of all, particularly with the coronavirus situation going on, I think it's going to be very helpful to the party to have one voice telling the American people how they would handle this as president. I mean, this is so critically important. I know in '08, when we went through the financial crisis, that's where people centered their attention on Obama. Yes, Iraq was still important. Yes, healthcare. But can you handle this crisis? So I think having one person. Secondly, we need to train a lot of fire at Trump, and we need to train all of it. Donald Trump, where I am today in Wisconsin, where I just was Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, he's running a race right now. And we've got to take the race to him. So I think that's a pretty defensive view, which is we need to shield Biden. If he's going to be our nominee, I think we need to have him unshackled, and we need to have him begin to run that general election campaign against Donald Trump. And again, I think having one voice out there saying this is what we need to do that Trump's not doing is so vitally important.
So I think the agreement I'm hearing between us anyway is this is Bernie's decision. Let Bernie make that decision on his timetable. And certainly you don't want the public impression that there was any kind of pressure, any kind of forcing Bernie Sanders out of a campaign where he earned his place.
Yeah, I thought his remarks today were pretty clear. You just had a previous discussion with John Hyman about this. I mean, he wasn't like, we're going to the mattresses. He was pretty clear that, he's trying to orchestrate, I think, how this ends. So I think we ought to give him some time to do that. Again, I think after next Tuesday's primaries, particularly because you've got Georgia the week after that, where Biden's only going to add to his delegate lead, I think it's just going to be pretty clear the lead's insurmountable. And then I think we have to get at the business of unifying, which won't happen easily. We got to work at it. We got to listen to the Sanders supporter. To your point, hopefully the Biden campaign, if he's the nominee, hires a lot of the Sanders team. We listen to those organizers on the ground because they've shown the ability to attract youth support. Now we need to grow the turnout as well.